What up, y'all? Hey, it's your boy Mikey back again and better than ever. Yeah, that's right. I defeated the Rona. Well, welcome back to Out of the Ordinary. I'm your host, Mikey, and we are officially off of winter break. So I decided to dig up some dirt and I found a piece on the Sodder Children disappearance. What's up, Cosmo? And of course, I'm pretty sure if you saw my ad, I made a typo and said the Missing Sodder Children. Damn voodoo. So let's see here. Liz, hey, what's up? And of course, Donald, Cosmo. Yes, Liz, damn voodoo. Damn voodoo. Oh, yeah. Whatever. All right, let's get to the Sodder Children disappearance. Now, the information I'm getting off of is off of Wikipedia, and yes, let's get into it. So, one Christmas Eve on December 24th, 1945, a fire destroyed the Sodder residence in Fayetteville, West Virginia. United States at the time was occupied by George Sodder, his wife, Janine, and 9 of their children during the fire. George and Janine and 4 of the 9 children escaped. The bodies of the other 5 children have never been found. The surviving Sodder family was believed to be dead. Wait, hold on. My bad. I think I'm reading this wrong. The surviving Sodder family believed for the rest of their lives that 5 missing children survived. Yes, Cosmo, I love you too, man. And let's see. Liz says 9 children. Yeah, the Sodders had 9 children. Yeah, I guess because in 1945, television wasn't invented yet. Get off her. Liz, they didn't have television probably. The Sodders never rebuilt the house, instead converting the suite into a memorial garden for the lost children. In the 1950s, as they came to doubt that the children had perished in the fire, the family put up a billboard at the site along State Route 16 with pictures of the 5, offering a reward for information that would bring them closure to the case. It remained standing until shortly after Janine Sodder's death in 1989. So yeah. Oh, hey, we got Calvin in the house, and we got NHSOCM, and they say Vor NGO. Okay, whatever that means, but howdy. What up? So let's get back into this here. In support of their belief that children survived, the Sodders had pointed to a number of unusual circumstances before and during the fire. Now, what I'm going to talk about right now is what happened, because some people say it's a mystery and some people say it's actual murder. But here we go. Oops. Here we go. George disputed at the Fayetteville Fire Department, finding the blaze was electrical in origin, noting that he had recently had his house rewired and inspected. George and his wife suspected arson, leading to theories that the children had been taken by the Sicilian Mafia. The Sicilian Mafia, perhaps the retaliation for George's outspoken criticism of the fascist government of his native Italy. So yeah, the Sodders claim to think that maybe their house burned because of arson, and they do have a piece. I think, what is it on Unsolved Mysteries? Do not quote me on that, but I thought I had seen it on Unsolved Mysteries where they think it was arson and basically that the children were taken, and it's got a lot. It's got a lot in it, and I just forgot what I was going to say. Damn voodoo, but it'll come back to me anyhow. The state and federal efforts to investigate the case further in the early 1950s yielded no new information. The family did, however, later receive what may have been a picture of one of the boys as an adult during the 1960s. The last surviving daughter, along with their grandchildren, continued to publicize the case in the 21st century in the media and online. So yes. And the mod says it was the Mossing voodoo curse. Ooh. Yeah, it was the Mossing voodoo curse. Ooga booga 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 booga. Hey, ooga booga booga. All right, enough joking around here. Enough farting around. Or else somebody's going to have a shit fit and freaking blast me. Yeah, if you're watching, I know you're going to have a shit fit. And put a ooh voodoo on me. I say screw you. Back to what I was doing. Okay, so the background here. George Sodder was born the name Giorgio Soddu in Tula, Sardinia, Italy in 1895. He immigrated to the United States 13 years later with an older brother who went back home as soon as both boys had cleared customs at Ellis Island. For the rest of his life, George, as he came to be known, would not talk much about why he had left his homeland. And let's go back to comments here. Liz says, I think that voodoo curse just came after me. Ooh. Trust me, Liz, there is no such thing as voodoo, man. These people, they're basing their voodoo off of a song. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to get hit with copyrights or anything. But they're getting it off a famous song, and yeah, it's pretty stupid. I give them the middle finger. That's what I give them. Look, middle finger. I have it a wah and a wah gig. And then I gigged. Angie, what's up? How you doing? Oh, dang it. Now all this talk about the voodoo and everything like that, it got me lost, man. Come on. Okay. Sodder eventually found work on the railroads of Pennsylvania, carrying water and other supplies to workers. After a few years, he took more permanent work as a driver in Smithers, West Virginia. After a few more years, he started his own trucking company, at first hauling fill dirt to construction sites and later hauling coal that was mined in the region. Janine C. Okay, that's an Italian name. I'm not going to pronounce it, but I'm just going to call her Janine C. A storekeeper's daughter in Smithers who had also immigrated from Italy in her childhood became George's wife. Natalie! Hey. The Sodders settled outside near Fayetteville, which had a large population of Italian immigrants, in a 2-story timber frame house 2 miles north of town. In 1923, they had the first of their 10 children. Jesus, they went from 9 to 10. George's business prospered, and they became one of the most respected middle-class families around. In the words of one local official, however, George had strong opinions about many subjects and was not shy about expressing them. sometimes alienating people, in particular. His strident opposition to Italian dictator Benito Mussolini had led to some strong arguments with other members of the immigrant community. So, Angie says, I'm cursed. I can't stop coughing. It's that damn voodoo. Let's see. Let me go back to some other comments. Everybody's saying hi to Angie. Okay, we're good. Now, the last of the Sodder children, Sylvia, was born in 1943. By then, her second oldest son, Joe, had left home to serve in the military during World War II. The following year, Mussolini was deposed and executed. However, George's criticism on the late dictator had left some hard feelings. In October of 1945, a visiting life insurance salesman, after being rebuffed, warned George that his house would go up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed. Attributing this all to the dirty remarks you have been making about Mussolini, another visitor to the house, ostensibly seeking work, took the occasion to go around the back and warn George that a pair of fuse boxes would cause a fire someday. George was puzzled by the observation since he had just had the house rewired and the electric stove was installed. And the local electric company had said afterwards it was safe. In the weeks before Christmas that year, George's older son had also noticed a strange car parked along the main highway through town, as occupants watching the younger Sodder children as they returned from school. So yeah, he had really bad heat going on him and everything like that, because he spoke ill of Mussolini and everything like that. So I mean, who knows whatever happened to those children and everything like that. But let's talk about the house fire now. We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna bring you the power. Dude, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Psycho Man Tim 13. Now I'm gonna be singing that all freaking night. Let's talk about the house fire here. No, I didn't want that in my head. The Sodder family celebrated on Christmas Eve of 1945. Marion, the oldest daughter, had been working at a dime store in downtown Fatesville, and surprised the three of her younger sisters, Martha 12, Jenny 9, and Betty 5. Betty Nugs. With new toys she had bought from them as gifts. The younger children were so excited that they asked their mother if they could stay up past what would have been their usual bedtime. At 10 p.m., Jeannie told them that they could stay up a little later, as long as the two oldest boys who were still awake, 14-year-old Maurice and his 9-year-old brother Louis, remembered to put the cows in and feed the chickens before going to bed themselves. George and the two oldest boys, John 23 and George Jr. 16, who spent the day working with their father, were already asleep. After reminding the children of those remaining chores, she took Sylvia, who was age 2, upstairs with her, and they went to bed together. Remember to put them cows in their beds, boy. So, okay, Angie says the chicken wing song is stuck in my. Please, Angie, don't get that stuck in my head, please. So, okay, let's read on. The telephone rang at 12:30 a.m. Jeannie woke and went downstairs to answer it. The caller was a woman whose voice she did not recognize. Sorry, my bad. Um, Asking for a name she was not familiar with the sound of laughter and clinking glasses in the background. Jeannie told the caller that she reached the wrong number, later recalling the woman's weird laugh. She hung up, returned to bed. As she did, she noticed that the lights were still on and the curtains were not drawn. Two things the children normally attended to when they stayed up later than their parents. Marion had fallen asleep on the living room couch, so Jeannie assumed the other children who had stayed up later had gone back up to the attic where they slept. Jesus, why would they keep their kids up in the attic, man? Anyhow, uh, she closed the curtains, turned out the lights, and then returned to bed. At 1 a.m., Jeannie was again awakened by the sound of an object hitting the house's roof with a loud bang, then a rolling noise. After hearing nothing further, she went back to sleep. After another half hour, she woke up again, smelling smoke. When she got up again, she found that the room George used for his office was on fire around the telephone line and the fuse box. So yeah, that sounds pretty shady, after they had told him, a man tells him your house is going to go up in smoke and stuff like that. If somebody were to tell me something like that, you best bet I'd be getting the hell out of Dodge. But anyways, let's read on here what these guys got to say. See, Mod says this is the okay, admin, please no song that never ends. Oh my God, you guys are killing me, man. You guys are killing me. and then Psycho Magic 13 says, "Damn it, George, you didn't put out the pipe again, right? You didn't put that pipe out again." So, okay, where was I? Okay, smelling smoke. Give me a minute, guys. I'm lost again. So Jeannie woke him, and he in turn woke his older sons. Both parents and four of their children, Marion, Sylvia, John, and George Jr., escaped the house. They frantically yelled to the children upstairs but heard no response. They could not go up there as the stairway itself was already aflame. John said that in his first police interview after the fire, that he went up to the attic to alert his siblings sleeping there, though he later changed his story to say that he only called up there and didn't actually see them. So yeah, his story kind of sounds, suspicious. But the thing is, I mean, if you're in a terrible crisis like that, I mean, could you blame the guy for changing his story? He was probably nervous or something. Maybe the mob told him, shut the hell up or something like that, or we're gonna do something, Hey, it could be a various amount of things, but let's read on here. Efforts to find aid and rescue the children were unexpectedly complicated. The phone did not work, so Marion ran to the neighbor's house to call the Fayetteville's fire department. A driver on the nearby road had also seen the flames and called from a nearby tavern. They too were unsuccessful, either because they could not reach the operator or because the phone there turned out to be broken. Either the neighbor or the passing motorist was eventually successful in reaching the fire department from another phone in the center of town. George, barefoot, climbed the house outside the wall and broke open the attic window, cutting his arm in the process. He and his sons intended to use a ladder to the attic to rescue the other children, but it was not in its usual spot, resting against the house and could not be found anywhere nearby. A water barrel that could have been used to extinguish the fire was frozen solid. George then tried to pull both of the trucks, and he used his business what up to the house and used it to climb the attic window, but neither of them would start despite having worked perfectly during the previous day. So yeah, they tried their best to save these children and everything like that, and nothing was there. And Mod says, I mean, you can throw the barrel in there and wait for it to melt to help put the fire out. Yeah, you could, but I mean, what's it gonna help anybody? Ain't gonna do crap. But hey, would have done something. Would have been a better effort than that. But the thing was, is that I think really something fishy is going on here. And this guy George, he doesn't want to say shit. So I'm pretty sure they got his mouth. They got him pretty tied. Okay. Frustrated, the six Sodders who had escaped had no choice but to watch the house burn down and collapse over the next 45 minutes. They assumed that the other five children had perished in the blaze. The fire department, low on manpower due to the war and relying on individual firefighters to call each other, did not respond until later that morning. Chief F.J. Morris said that the next day that they already show response to was further hampered by his inability to drive the fire truck. Required he wait until someone who could drive was available. Man, that's bad, man. Come on. Had it been me, I would not. Had I seen a fire burning or something like that, or anything like that, and they told me to wait, lives cannot wait, man. I would break every freaking law in the book to save somebody's life. Honestly, if I saw that house burning, they say, "Hey, you're not experienced to drive that fire truck." I don't care. I'm gonna do it because people matter. So, let's see. The firefighters, one of whom was the brother of Jeannie's, could do little but look through the ashes were left in the Sodders' basement. By 10 a.m., Morris told the Sodders that they had not found any bones, as might have been expected if the children had been in the house burned. According to another account, they did find a few bone fragments and internal organs, but chose not to tell the family. It has also been noted today by modern fire professionals that their search was cursory at best. Nevertheless, Morris believed that the five children unaccounted for had died in the fire, suggested it had been hot enough to burn their bodies completely. See, but you can't burn bones. That's the main thing right there. I don't care what you are or anything like that. You can't burn bones. You can watch it on the Discovery Channel. You can watch it on National Geographic. There have been things. I mean, even when people are put in an incinerator, when they're going to get cremated and stuff like that, the bones don't burn. Yeah, Akai, you said that if it's hot enough, but a house fire would not be hot enough to turn something to ash. Exactly, Akai. It has to be very hot, and house fires are not that hot. So yeah, you have that is right. It does depend, but I mean, like I said, there's something fishy going on, actually. So I call like somebody had foul play in there. It was foul play, and somebody has to have the blame for it. So let's go to the aftermath here. Morris told George to leave the suite undisturbed so that the fire marshal's office could conduct more thorough investigation. However, 4 days, George and his wife could not bear the sight anymore. So he bulldozed 5 feet of the dirt over the site with the intention of covering it to and making it into a memorial garden for the lost children. The local coroner covenanted, I think that's what it says, an inquest the next day, which held that the fire was an accident caused by faulty wiring. Yeah. Mm-mm. If George said that there was, okay, Calvin just said something here. My brother had a trailer fire. It melted a fireproof gun safe. Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you this much, Calvin. If your brother had a fireproof gun safe, that wasn't fireproof, buddy. Because if it was fireproof, I mean that stuff will not burn. Believe me, I'm a pyromaniac. I used to love playing with fire when I was little and everything like that. And I was that type of person that if it said fireproof, I was going to set it ablaze. So I think that safe, man, that safe wasn't fireproof. But I mean, who knows? Who knows about things like that, man? I mean, there have been things that say waterproof, and it gets saturated. It was rated to 1,200. Damn. Akash says, I mean, that's the point. It had to be proven to be allowed to say fireproof. That was a huge fire. Well, Akai, you know what? Calvin does have a point on that thing, man, because I mean, it was gun safe. So, I mean, there could have been many factors, but I mean, I'm not going to discredit nor credit it, but I'm thinking, as my opinion, if it said fireproof, it should have been fireproof. But I get y'all. I get y'all. Anyways, let's get back to what I was reading here. Okay. Okay, so they blamed it on faulty wiring. Among the jurors was a man who had threatened George that his house would be burned down and his children destroyed in the retribution for his anti-Mussolini remarks. So yeah, you have that going on, and Akash says they let him in. Um, it doesn't really say anything about that whole thing about what if they ever caught him, or it never said anything. I mean, it's just saying that somebody told him that, and it's on Unsolved Mysteries too. They talk about it on Unsolved Mysteries and stuff. I mean, if you don't want to hear me, you can go watch that then. So, death certificates for the 5 children were issued December 30th. The local newspaper contradicted itself, stating that all the bodies had been found. But then later, the same story reporting that only part of one body was recovered. George and Jeannie were too grief-stricken to attend the funeral on January 2nd, 1946, although their surviving children did. And Calvin says, yes, it was in the trailer. He said the trailer was completely engulfed in 15 minutes. I think it was that outside wood stove. Ooh. Yeah. Angie says, I watched the story on Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah, that's where it was originally on. It was originally on that and stuff like that. It was a real interesting one. But, I mean, now it's being covered by me. It's being covered by me, so yeah. Let's get to the family questions about the official account. Okay. So, not long afterwards, as they began to rebuild their lives, the Sodder family started to question all the official findings about the fire. They wondered why, if it had been caused by an electrical problem, the family's Christmas lights had remained on throughout the fire's early stages, when the power should have gone out. Then they found the ladder that had been missing from the side of the house on the night of the fire at the bottom of an embankment 75 feet away. So, yeah. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and I will be back with more.
This is Mikey from Out of the Ordinary, and you're watching PBDC TV.
First thing in the morning, when I'm listening to music and getting a little bit of time for some creepy research, I'm always representing with my PBDC merch. What a better way to have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Don't forget to check out our other cool merch at rootsbleedred.com. That's rootsbleedred.com.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
All right, we're back, and what a nice commercial. Hey, who's that Mikey guy on the tape recorder, man? This is Mikey. All right, let's get back. So now a telephone repairman told the Sodders that the house phone line had not been burned through in the fire, as they had initially thought, but cut by someone who had been willing and able to climb 14 feet up the pole and reach 2 feet away from it to do so. A man whom neighbors had seen stealing block and tackle from the property around the time of the fire was identified and arrested. He admitted to the theft and claimed that he had been one who cut the phone line, thinking it was a power line, but denied having anything to do with the fire. However, no record identifying the suspect exists, and why he would have wanted to cut any utility lines to the Sodders' house while stealing the block and tackle has never been explained. Jeannie said in 1968 that if he had cut out the power line, she and her husband, along with their other 4 children, would never have been able to make it out of the house. Jeannie also had trouble accepting Morris's belief that all the traces of children's bodies had been burned completely in the fire. Many of the household appliances had been found still recognizable in the ash, along with fragments of the tin roof. She contrasted the results of the fire with newspaper account of similar house fire that she read around the same time that killed a family of 7. Skeletal remains of all the victims were reported to have been found in that case. Jeannie burned small piles of animal bones to see if they would be completely consumed. None ever were. God, man. Why would you even do that? Jeannie reminds me of somebody, you know. I'm pretty sure that somebody probably would have done something like that. You know, I don't want to mention anything. I don't want to piss off the yuck. The yuck. Get that voodoo. Anyways, so she burned animals and everything like that to see if they would actually, you know, their bones would actually turn to ash and everything like that. So an employee of the local crematorium she contacted told her that human bone remains even after bodies were burned at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,090 Celsius for 2 hours, far longer and hotter than the house fire could have been. Hexes. Voodoo. So yeah, she was told by the guy that worked at the crematorium that it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't turn their bones to ash. So it said the house fire couldn't have been. The Sodders trucks failure to start, who also considered George believed that they had been tampered with, perhaps by the same man who stole the block and tackle and cut the phone line. However, one of George's son-in-laws told the Charleston Gazette-Mail in 2013 that he had come to believe that the Sodders and his sons might have, in their haste to start the trucks, flooded the engines. So yeah, some accounts have suggested that the wrong number phone call to the Sodders house might have been somehow might have also somehow been connected to the fire. However, investigations later located the woman who had made the call. She confirms it had been the wrong number on her part. Hmm. Um, Subsequent developments. As spring approached, the Sodders, as they said they would, planted flowers in the small bulldozed over the house. Jeannie tended to it carefully for the rest of her life. However, further developments in early 1946 reinforced the family's belief that the children they were memorializing might, in fact, still be alive somewhere. Akash says, "You just reminded me of the man." You remind me of the man. The man with the power. Power of voodoo. Aka, you funny. Hey, Aka, I was going to ask you a question, man. Did you come from the Black Forest ham? Do you know anything about the Black Forest ham? Do you know anything about the voodoo doos? She says, yes, there's lots of ham in that Black Forest. It's quite tasty. Actually, no. Thinking about it now, it kind of grosses me out. If you know what I mean. All right. Enough with the crackings. Here we go. Evidence soon emerged indicating that the fire had not started in the electrical fault and was instead set deliberately. Deliberately, the driver of a bus that passed through Fatesville late Christmas evening said that he had seen some people throwing balls of fire. Get this, balls of fire. Not the kind of Black Forest ham that I was thinking of, Natalie. So, anyways, some bus driver said he saw somebody throwing balls of fire at the house. Hexus, was that you, dude? Come on, man. You're throwing balls of fire again, dude. The cycle. I mean, I can see the future. Mecca like a high, mecca hiney ho. So, anyways, a few months later, when the snow had melted, Sylvia found a small, hard, dark green rubber ball like object in the brush nearby. George, recalling his wife's account of a loud thump on the roof before the fire, said it looked like a pineapple bomb. Oh, we're talking about the same ham. I just like to roast. Okay, so they thought it was a hand grenade or pineapple bomb, as it says here, or something other what is it, incendiary device used in combat. The family later claimed that, contrary to the fire marshal's conclusion, the fire had started on the roof, although by then there was no proof of it. And Mod says, pineapple bomb what? Oh, no, they were saying that what started the fire might have been a pineapple bomb. Oh, I got you. Pineapple goes well on ham. Not that kind of ham, buddy. Or the McRibs all. Oh, God. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Man, y'all are cracking me up. That would be. Uh, okay, guys. Is that like a butt pine? What? You talking about the pineapple that was shoved up Hitler's butt? Yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Other witnesses claimed as. Oh, okay. Here we go. The family later claimed that, contrary to Marshall's conclusion, they couldn't prove it. Other witnesses claimed that they had seen the missing Sodder children themselves. One woman who had been watching the fire from the road said that she had seen some of them peering out out of a passing car while the house was burning. Another woman at a rest stop between Fayetteville and Charleston said that she served them breakfast the next morning and noted that the presence of the car with Florida license plates in the rest of the stop's parking lot as well. Florida license plate? Hey, sounds familiar. So let's go to the comments here, and it says, Liz says, a huge pineapple up the butt. This takes it to a new level. Yes, we need pineapple butts to show up a booty. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are going to get me in trouble. You whippersnappers are nothing but trouble. So, okay. So they've claimed that they have seen the children and everything like that in car with Florida license plates here. The Sodders hired a private investigator named C.C. Tinsley from the nearby town of Gauley Bridge. I don't know if I said that right. It's Gauley. I think that's Gauley. The voodoo pineapple. How about black ham pineapple pants? Yes, a car. Yes. Man, shove a pineapple up the yuck. Ew. He'd probably like it too. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, let's get back to this thing here. Tinsley informed the family that the insurance salesman who had threatened George over his anti-Mussolini statements had been on the coroner's jury and ruled the fire as an accident. Oh man, is that not just giving yourself up right there, man? It was him, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. He also learned of rumors around Fayetteville that despite his reports to the Sodders that no remains had been found in the ashes, Morris had found a heart which he later packed into a metal box and secretly buried it. What? Morris had apparently confessed to the local minister, who confirmed it to George. George and Tinsley went to Morris and confronted him with the news. Morris agreed to show the two he had buried the metal box, and they dug it up. They took what they found inside the box to be a local funeral director, who, after examining, told them it was really fresh beef liver. Ah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Nat. I think you do see. I think we do. By the way, guys, if you haven't already seen the post or anything like that, PBDC and Psychoman Team 13, they have come out with new merch. So go grab yourself some right now, or else I will put the voodoos on you. Anyways, So this Morris guy confessed, and he said that he had he had one of the hearts buried in a metal box, which turned out to be a beef liver. And so later, more rumors circulated around Fayetteville that Morris had afterwards admitted to the box with the liver had indeed not come from the fire originally. He supposedly placed it there in the hopes that the Sodders would find it and be satisfied that the missing children had indeed died in the fire. So yeah. Yes, go to psychobunnydeathcult.com or psychomantium13.com. I think it's psychomantium13.com. It is, right? But anyways, go there for your voodoo needs. Well, that's my show for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all had fun. And we are back, and we're going to hit this thing right on the head. So thank you. And remember, stay out of the ordinary. I'm Mike, your host. Good night.
Oh.